Let's be honest, border security is a deadly serious issue. Look at this. According to the Center for Immigration Studies, since 2001, 15 suspected terrorists, they've been apprehended at our southern border, including Islamic extremists from Al-Shabaab, the Taliban, ISIS. The true number of terrorist-related crossings is, of course, classified, likely much higher. And meanwhile, over 25,000 other known criminal immigrants have been arrested since 2016. This includes over a dozen murderers, 370 convicted sex offenders, and nearly 5,000 individuals convicted of illegal drug or weapons charges. Now, of course, I would tell you the vast majority of people that want to cross the border illegally probably are people that want a better life for themselves and their families. But even illegal immigrants with the best intentions, they are costing we, the taxpayers, an enormous amount of money. According to a recent study, every illegal immigrant that successfully crosses our border costs you, the American people, $70,000 a year. And on December 3rd, over 3,000 people were caught illegally crossing in just one day. In November, a 2-year-old toddler was found crossing the border without her parents. We must have the ability to decide who comes into our country to ensure the safety on both sides of the border, to vet people, to make sure they can take care of themselves. So now more than ever, we need a massive wall. It's a common sense strategy that actually works, keeping potential terrorists, those that are criminals, human traffickers, drug traffickers, out of this country, illegals. That's a national security issue. The president has long promised now to build that wall, and now he's fighting to do just that. He's fighting for what's right. Now, he fought hard. This is his history for tax cuts. He gave us the largest tax cuts in history. He fought for new trade deals, and he's winning on that front. He fought back against Obama's endless bureaucratic regulations, and he's created an environment for businesses that are now thriving. He's fought for energy independence, and for the first time this week, in 75 years, we are energy independent. He fought for the confirmation of qualified, originalist justices, and he's won. And now he's fighting for the wall on our southern border in a big way and confronting Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, for playing politics with what is the safety and security of every American citizen. Take a look.
I'd like not to see a government closing, a shutdown. We will see what happens over the next short period of time. But the wall is a very important thing to us. I might put it a different way. Border security is extremely important, and we have to take care of border security. When you look at what happened with the caravans, with the people, with a lot of, we shut it down. We had no choice. We shut it down. But it could be a lot easier if we had real border security.
You have the White House. You have the Senate. You have the House of Representatives. You have the votes. You should pass it.
No, we
right
don't have
now.
the votes, Nancy, because in the Senate we need 60 votes.
No, but in the House,
and we don't have.
You could bring it up right now.
Yeah, but
today.
I can't. Excuse me, but I can't get it passed in the House if it's not going to pass in the Senate. I don't want to waste time.
Well, the fact is, you can get it started that way.
The House we can get passed very easily,
okay,
and we do. But the
it.
problem is the Senate, because we need 10 Democrats to vote, and they won't vote.
Nancy, we'll find out.
Nancy, we need border security. It's very simple.
Of course we do.
We need border security. People are pouring into our country, including terrorists. We have terrorists. We caught 10 terrorists over the last very short period of time. 10. These are very serious people. Our border agents, all of our law enforcement has been incredible what they've done. But we caught 10 terrorists. These are people that were looking to do harm. We need the wall. We need, more important than anything, we need border security, of which the wall is just a piece. But it's important.
You just say my way or we'll shut down the government. We have a proposal that Democrats and Republicans will support to do a CR that will not shut down the government. We urge you to take it.
And if it's not good border security, I won't take it.
It is very good border security.
And if it's not good border security, I won't take it.
It's what the
Because when you look at these numbers of the effectiveness of our border security, and when you look at the job that we're doing with our military...
You just said it is effective.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, you just said
Without
it's effective.
Without a wall, these are only areas where you have the walls.
We want to do
where
this.
you have walls, Chuck, it's effective. Where you don't have walls, it is not effective.
We came in here in good faith, and we're entering into this kind of a discussion in the public view.
But it's not bad, Nancy.
No,
it's called transparency.
I know it's not transparency when we're not stipulating to a set of facts, and when we wanted. have a debate with you about saying we confront some of this facts without.
You know
saying
what?
to the
We need
public,
border security.
this
That's
isn't
what we're going to be
good.
talking about, border security. If we don't have border security, we'll shut down the government.
20 times you
Chuck.
have called for, I will shut down the government if I don't get my wool. None of us have said.
You want to know something?
You've said
okay,
it.
you want to put that on
You've
my...
said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes. If we don't get what we want, one way or the other, whether it's through you, through a military, through anything you want to call, I will shut down the government.
Okay, fair
absolutely.
enough.
And I
We
am
disagree.
proud, and I'll
We
tell you what,
disagree.
I am proud to shut down the government for border security, Chuck.
Wow. Chuck couldn't even look him in the eye. Now, tonight we have some breaking news. Fox News has confirmed that House Republicans are now considering putting a $5 billion funding the wall bill up for that vote that Nancy Pelosi wants, and they'll still fund the government at current levels. Now, this bill would prove Nancy Pelosi wrong and then put Senate Democrats in a pretty precarious position. Either fund the wall or they will shut down the government. By the way, if you're a Republican in Congress and you vote no, I will tell you right now, we will be highlighting your name and your record and holding you all accountable. This is about our nation's security. It's about stopping drug traffickers and human traffickers. It's about safety for the American people. None of this seems to matter to the left, and yet again, they are on the wrong side of what is a monumentally important issue. Look at this. According to a Harvard-Harris poll, a majority of Americans, they support the president, the wall on our southern border. 79% support a merit-based immigration system. 79% want more secure borders. 61% say the current border security is inadequate. And 68% want an end to the visa lottery system. Now, Democrats don't want to listen to the American people. Maybe they should just listen to themselves, because they're such hypocrites. In the Obama years, they sounded a lot like Donald Trump. And we've got the tape to prove it. Take a look.
I voted numerous times when I was a senator to spend money to build a barrier to try to prevent illegal immigrants from coming in. And I do think you have to control your borders.
People who enter the United States without our permission are illegal aliens, and illegal aliens should not be treated the same as people who entered the U.S. legally. The American people will never accept immigration reform unless they truly believe that their government is committed to ending future illegal immigration.
Those who enter our country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law. And because we live in an age where terrorists are challenging our borders, we cannot allow people to pour into the U.S. undetected, undocumented, and unchecked.
Oh, how times have changed. They all sounded like little baby Donald Trumps. Now, we've warned you for a long time. Now, Democrats, now they want open borders, sanctuary cities, sanctuary states. They even want to get rid of ICE and all the hard work that they do all together. But remember, they want to keep this agenda hidden, which is exactly, was one of the more fascinating moments during that exchange with the president that went on 11, 12 minutes today. They kept urging the president over and over, can we talk privately? Please, please, you're killing us. Sure is sign, by the way, they know that they were out of touch with the American people. Can we please do this privately? Pretty please. Take a look.
The point is that there are equities to be weighed. And we're here to have a conversation in a prayerful way. So I don't think we should have a debate in front of the press on this. Again, let us have our conversation, then we can meet with the press again.
That's our proposal. If it's good then, it's good now, and it won't shut down the government.
Chuck, we can build a
But that's
much
it.
bigger
Let's
section with
debate,
more money.
Let's debate in private. Okay? Yeah,
To a
let's
place
debate in private.
that is, we came in here in good faith, and we're entering into this kind of a discussion in the public view.
But it's not bad, Nancy. It's called transparency.
And let us have a conversation where we don't have to contradict in public the statistics that you put forth, but instead can have a conversation about what will really work.
No, let's have the conversation in public so we can all see where you really stand. Instead of working towards a solution, you see it. Democrats playing politics and literally commencing with their favorite activity, bashing Trump, including now, moments after that tense exchange in the White House. Watch this.
The Trump shutdown is something that can be avoided, that the American people do not need at this time of economic uncertainty, people losing jobs, the market in a mood, and the rest. It's a luxury. The Trump shutdown is a luxury the American people cannot afford.
If he sticks to his position for a $5 billion wall, he will get no wall and he will get a shutdown. This Trump shutdown, this temper tantrum that he seems to throw, will not get him his wall, and it'll hurt a lot of people because he will cause a shutdown. He admitted he wanted a shutdown. It's hard to believe that he would want that. The president said things are working quite well at the border. Well, we want to give him the same thing he had last year. If they're working well last year, they should work well this year. He shouldn't shut down the government.
Amazing. Chuck couldn't look him in the eye when he was right in front of him, but he comes out strong when those cameras are out there and he doesn't have anybody to debate or to refute what he is saying. Actually, Chuck, the president said he would own it, that he's willing to fight for his promise for the American people, and that national security is that important to him. Okay, he says he owns it. Accept it. And Nancy Pelosi gets back to the security of Capitol Hill. She actually then questioned the president's, you can't make this up, manhood, telling her fellow Democrats, quote, it's like a manhood thing for him, as if manhood could ever be associated with him. This wall thing. And according to the Hill, she also made this odd, weird, bizarre analogy. It goes to show you, you get into a tinkle contest with a skunk and you get tinkle all over you. Wow. That's the leader of the Democratic Party, soon to be Speaker of the House. This is going to be, listen, you watch in the first 3 months of next year, this is going to be entertainment at its highest level. I promise you. Now let's contrast those very petty statements to how President Trump reacted following the meeting. Take a look.
I don't mind having the issue of border security on my side. If we have to close down the country over border security, I actually like that in terms of an issue, but I don't want it to be an issue. I want it to be something that the country needs. It's not really an issue. It's something the country needs. It's common sense. The country needs it. We need protection. We need border security. We need security from drugs that are pouring into our country. They're coming in right through that southern border, and we need a wall. We need border security, and part of border security is a wall. So I don't mind owning that issue. I mean, Chuck's problem is that, you know, when we last closed down, that was his idea. And honestly, he got killed. And so he doesn't want to own it. And I said, you know what, rather than us debating who's owning it, I'll take it. I'll take it. If we close down the country, I will take it, because we're closing it down for border security. And I think I win that every single time.
Ownership, responsibility, keeping promises, the courage to fight back. While some criticize the president's style, this is why this president was elected. It's why the border wall will get done one way or the other. He is a disruptor in chief, and finally promises are made that are being kept. The same reason that President Trump's bipartisan prison reform bill will also likely pass Congress and become law. Soon, nonviolent, low-risk offenders will have the chance to once again contribute to society without unreasonably long prison sentences. This is good for America. Everyone, again, nonviolent, very important, especially those who are first-time offenders. They should have a chance at redemption. Now, remember this scene, Alice Marie Johnson, who we had the opportunity to meet and interview, thanking the president, thanking the country for a second chance. She spent 20-plus years in prison for one drug offense, nonviolent. And now others like Alice Marie Johnson, currently in prisons, they will be given a second chance. Now, despite real progress across the country on multiple fronts, well, Trump derangement syndrome has devastated some of America's worst so-called journalists. Of course, this includes New York Times hack Paul Krugman. This is the most insane thing I think I've read in the New York Times, and that says a lot. Tweeting out an article about how climate change, along with a statement that reads, quote, there's a new axis of evil, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and the United States. Okay, is this what the New York Times has become? A paper so filled with anti-Trump rage that they employ a person that's calling the United States of America evil? Not only is Krugman's anti-climate change rage absurd, it's also misplaced. Mr. Krugman, in 2017, the U.S. actually led all countries in reducing carbon emissions. I guess journalism is not one of his strengths. But what else would you expect from the New York Times? And for the record, Paul, no, America's not perfect. No country has ever been. But there's never been a country that has accumulated more power and abused it less, and accumulated more power and used it to help advance the human condition more than the United States of America. Of course, you and your biased newspaper, so-called of record, need a history lesson.